And we are live. What up, players? What is good? Tuesday, April 19th, here in Tokyo, Japan. All is good, all is well. Um, indeed. Yep. Today, going to talk about, you know, why women or how women select men or why women select men. Um, Basically, just want to do some commentary on a video I saw Jordan Peterson put up. Just see what I agree with, see what I don't agree with, see what it's all about. But before I get into that, let's see. Let me see. Yeah. So check this out. Okay, so April 25th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. PST. One time only game webinar hosted by Red Pill Thor, which will feature Red Pill Thor himself, Sterling Cooper. You know, everyone knows Sterling Cooper. Mac the Day Gamer, myself, Huds, and Avi Kingdom. So this workshop webinar on level 9000 game will be how to get started with threesome game, Harlem game, harem game, BDSM, lifestyle, escalation, erotic dirty talk, and much more. So if you're looking to up your level of game regarding with women, I mean not only game but just sex life in general. This is the this will definitely help you out. Click on the link in the description and sign up. It'll definitely be good time. It's gonna be a good time. So yeah, that's that. Check it out. But yeah, indeed. Let me see. So yeah, definitely don't miss out on that. It should be a good webinar featuring, it's gonna be some good speakers. It should definitely level up your game. But yeah, um, I haven't streamed since last Tuesday, I think, but it's all good. Um, had a good weekend as usual. Man, I was just thinking about it. When I've been I've been doing a good bit of nightlife recently, and it's when you open your eyes to the way chicks operate, it's just it cannot be unseen. You know, there's so many chicks in out there that just completely cuck their boyfriends to different levels of cruelty. There's levels to the cucking. Like there's just it's just wild what you see, in nightlife. First of all, guys bringing their girlfriends out to bars and clubs, you're just asking for trouble. Like you're asking for a lot of trouble, and then you mix alcohol into the whole mixture. And yeah, if you're a weak guy, if you're a weak like meek beta guy, and you're bringing any kind of girl out with you, she doesn't even need to be hot, but any kind of girl, if she's hot, then it's game over. Like you're gonna get cooked. Like you're gonna get cooked by someone. Like your girlfriend's drinking, whatever. Man, there's levels to it, but it's just fucking crazy. I've seen it all. Seen it all. I remember. Oh, there's levels to it. Like I've seen guys get their girlfriends like just like literally taken away from them by guys. Like it's you know. Uh, I think the most common one I see, the most common like kind of cockening that I see is when is like a guy with his girlfriend, and then some guy takes his girlfriend and like dances with her, but it's not you can't even call it dancing. It's just like grinding. Like it's just like sexual dry humping. Like I've seen it happen, and not only have I seen it, I've done it also. I've also done it, but it's not something I'm not saying guys should do that. You're asking for trouble if you start doing things like that. Like you're anytime I've done it, it's been unintentional. I've never really. Oh, okay, I can never say never, but um, yeah, most of the time I've done it, it's like unintentional. I didn't know she had a boyfriend or something like that, and then it gets revealed that her boyfriend, she has a boyfriend, and he's in the club. Um, it's just ridiculous. I mean, so Saturday night, the reason I'm talking about it, Saturday night was crazy. So I'm with my friend, and we're kind of wingmanning, and we see two girls at the bar. We go up talking to them. We're talking to them for like 5 minutes already, and then I suggest let's have a home party. And we're already we're already talking to them, and we have our hands on them, and they're into it, and it's ass, their ass to my dick. It's like it's quite intimate, like, and they're down with it, and it's fine. But as soon as I suggest let's go have a house party, let's bounce out of here. Like, they say, oh, but our boyfriends are here. I was like, what? We've been talking for 5 minutes. Like, you're like, my hand is on your ass. Like, what do you mean you have a boyfriend? Oh yeah, they're just over there. And like, they were lit. Like, they pointed, and their boyfriends were like across the bar, like across the bar, like, while we're hitting on them and we're touching them, and they're down with it. And I don't know. It's just like it doesn't surprise me anymore. It's just for normie, it might be like, oh my god, your boyfriend's here. Oh, bye. Bounce out of there. It doesn't phase me. I didn't really care. I mean, you know, um, but it's pretty wild. But yeah, I just don't care. I mean, like I said, if you bring your girlfriend or or even worse, your wife or whatever, or even a girl, like a girl you're just seeing, to a club or a bar, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. Especially, like I said, especially if you're like a beta weak guy that, like, you know isn't isn't willing to step in, or is too meek to step in. But then again, at the same time, you should never fight over a girl anyway. So, like, if your girl is willing to do that, like, if she's gonna do it, she's gonna do it. Like, what are you gonna do? White knight, simp, jump in. Oh, step away from my girl, man. Like, she's a hoe. Like, what are you doing? You fucking dickhead. Like, what are you gonna get into a fight over a hoe? Be a white knight? Be a dickhead? Like, what? Like, why you stepping up for a hoe? If she's gonna do it, like, while you're here in the bar, obviously gonna, like, do it extra hard when you're not here. You know what I mean? It just, like, annoys me, these dumbass guys. He did, by the way. The guy didn't say any, like, there was no uh physical escalation, like, with her boyfriend. But I'm just but a lot of times there would be, you know um Spark 55 says, if you ever go long term, she has to have genuine desire. Indeed. It has to be. I mean, that's an interesting, yeah. There's an intro. I can expand on that a little bit. For long term, there certainly has to be genuine desire. But there's a lot of fucking spargs in this red pill space that think, if she doesn't give you choosing signals, and she doesn't have burning genuine desire for you, then, there's no hope, and you give up. Like, you're never gonna get laid. Like, you're never gonna get laid if you think, like, every single girl that you're gonna bang is gonna have genuine burning desire, is gonna be chasing you down and blowing up your phone. And no, it's like, no, you, as a man, like, I have to hit these girls up. I have to, like, take the lead in almost every situation. You know, if you're a guy that has girls, like, having all these hot girls having genuine burning desire for you all the time, and you're getting laid that way, then you must be a fucking, I don't know. You're not. That's not me. That doesn't happen with me. But yeah, you're correct in the sense that if you're gonna date a girl, if you're gonna be, get into a relationship with her, she has to be fucking into you, like, in a big way. But, like, when it comes to hookup culture, when it comes to, like, getting laid, like, it's kind of like at the start, you're gonna have to put yourself in front of them, and they might not give a shit about you, but like that's what game is. You spit game, and then you talk to them, and they're like you warm them up. They're not just gonna be straight, oh, genuine burning desire. I wish it was that way. That'd be sweet. A lot of people think it is like, oh, you're a white guy in Japan. No, all these girls have genuine burning desire for you. No, it's not like that. I wish it was, but it's really not even close. But yeah, most guys never get it. Most guys never get it, indeed. But yeah, it's just it is what it is. Um, it is what it is. So yeah, it's like genuine burning desires is important, but it's like it's for the relationship part. you know. Um, it's like it's just there's a lot of fucking idiots in give out bad advice and stuff, like bad advice. Like there's no exact like formula. There's no exact rule. Like it's like there's one thing. It's like, oh, never double text. It's like, well, there's exceptions to the rule. Like sometimes you could double text. I mean, I've gotten laid because I've double texted before. It's like, if you have to double text a girl, it's like, okay, maybe she's like, it's probably a thing where she does have other guys going, like, you're maybe not at the top of the list, like, but who gives a fuck? If you want to get laid as a man, right? You want to get fucking laid, so you gotta, like, okay, are you free or not? You want to get an answer sometimes, But like, if you're going like triple text, okay, then that's a problem. Then stop. That's where you got to stop. But a double text, I mean, oh my god, you double texted, it's over. Blue pill for life, beta simp. No, I mean, you know, sometimes you just got to remind them. It's like a reminder. What the fuck? Like, are you free or not? Like, just tell me, kind of thing. I'm not saying text them exactly like that, but like there's just all this, like, there's kind of like autism in the red pill space. Like there's autism. Like there's, oh, here's these rules, and you gotta, oh fuck, ever do this and never do that, and it's like idiots. Like, it's, come on, just like use your intuition. Like, on try and just figure it out. You know, it's not so black and white. There's like nuance to it. There's nuance to it. There's like each situation is kind of different. Um, you know. But yeah, let me just share something since we're on the topic. So, kind of on the topic of cucking and stuff. Okay, so here's this meme. Do you want to come over tonight? Come over and hang out with me. My boyfriend is at work. I'm coming to meet you at work. You need to see what your girlfriend messaged me. Fucking dork. Dork meme. This is a dork meme. All right. This is a fucking nerd. You're a nerd. Like, if you do this, you're a nerd. Okay, let me just clarify something. Let me just clarify this for you. Okay, if it's your friend, like a guy that is your friend, and his girlfriend did that, then yes, okay, you can go to him and tell him, yes, and you should, like, yeah, you should. You should go to him and tell him, hey, you're a bitch, you're, and do you know what? Like, on top of that, of course you should tell him, but the thing is, if your friend is blue pill, he'll probably resent you for it, unless he's red pill, And if he's red pill, he'd most likely wouldn't be dating a girl like this. But it's a complicated thing. But this idea that like you do that for a guy that you don't even know, like, oh, rat out some hot girl and go and tell him, oh, your girlfriend's trying to have sex with me. You fucking dork, you fucking nerd. Like, go and have sex with her. Who cares? And I'm not saying to go and source out like girls that have boyfriends, but you know, it's just like, if it's not you, it's gonna be another dude. Like, if she's cheating, she's gonna cheat. Like, she doesn't give a fuck about the guy. Who cares? Who cares? Like, all this moral bullshit isn't going to get you anywhere. Go and tell, I'm going to tell your boyfriend. I'm going to go and tell your boyfriend. Yeah. There's going to be no reward for that. Who gives a fuck? Like, you're such a this do-gooder bullshit. Like, being a do, I'm a tradcon. I'm Captain Save a Bro. There's Captain Save a Ho, and then there's Captain Save a Bro. Like, what? We're going around saving random bros. Like, from what? From his? He's most likely going to be a simp anyway. He's most likely going to be a dork fucking simp dating a fucking a hoe. So, you know, um, yeah, it's just, but like, look at the blue pill in the comments as well. Let me see. Yeah, so I said, yeah, if he's your friend, absolutely. If not, who gives a fuck? They all have boyfriends. Modern day women are never, yeah, modern day women pretty much, they pretty much like, it's like they're always going to be dealing with guys. Modern day women, like, they're never like completely, like, if they have social media, if they, simple as, if they have social media and they're active on it, they're going to have plenty of guys that are trying to, DM them. So it's like they always have some kind of boyfriend, um or they could, but yeah, the comments are funny. Tradcons. um this guy agrees with me. He says, finally, a take I agree with. You can't be Captain Save a Bro for all these simps. Some people got to learn the hard way, but totally would say something if it was a friend of mine. Yeah, that's what I said. And then you get the blue pill guys in the comments. It's not like you get bitches anyway, so why need to say you? Okay, this guy's, yeah, but I mean, just the comments are funny. I mean, comments are funny. How did this deranged lunacy get any likes? The state of some men these days, holy shit. Another tradcon. You get the incel comments. But yeah, I just wanted to, share that. It's like, you're not gonna get rewarded for going around saving random guys from their whole girlfriends. It's just like, and if it's not gonna be you dealing, banging her, you know, it's gonna be some other guy that doesn't give a fuck. That isn't gonna be, going around trying to like save random guys. Like, probably would. That is probably a blue pill simp that would throw you under the bus himself. So fuck him. Fuck him. You know. Fuck these blue pill guys, honestly. You know. Um but yeah, back to the topic at hand. Um let's have a look at this video about how women select men. Okay. Spark 55 says, what I find funny, these hoes want a relationship, choose a dork, and then destroy it. Yep, indeed. Let me see.
Maybe we could start our discussion of sexual differences in mating strategy with that. So first of all, what's the evidence that suggests that women are in fact choosier when it comes to sexual partners than men, and how much choosier are they?
Okay, great question. Well, so
what's the evidence? Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, the evidence is just like, it's everywhere. It's so obvious. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. I mean, anyone can figure that out. I mean, put a random guy goes and approaches 100 girls and asks them, to hang out and have sex. Then, you know, and then you get a random girl approaches 100 guys and asks them to hang out and have sex, you're going to be dealing with very different numbers there. The guy will probably end up with 0, and the girl will probably end up with a lot of guys will want to have sex with her. It's just, I mean, let's see what he has to say anyway. But
maybe first we could just define for listeners what sexual selection theory is, because most people, when they think about evolution, they think of survival of the fittest and that sort of nature redding tooth and claw.
Yes, and a kind of a randomness too, which, you know, that it's kind of implicit in the natural selection theory, whereas sexual selection is anything but random.
Yeah, absolutely. So sexual selection. So if natural selection, this is oversimplified, but is the evolution of adaptations due to their survival advantage, or the survival advantage that accrued to the possessors. So things like fear of snakes, fear of heights, spiders, darkness, strangers, and so forth, food preferences, things that led to better survival. Sexual selection deals with the evolution of qualities that lead to mating success. And Darwin identified 2 causal processes by which mating success could occur. One is same-sex competition, or intrasexual competition. And the logic there is that whatever, he thought about it in terms of contest competition, where there was a physical battle, like 2 stags locking horns in combat, with the victor gaining sexual access to the female, loser ambling off with a broken.
yeah, I mean, I made the analogy when I was talking about that meme, you know, about, you know, just like, let me share it. Like, I mean, just the analogy of, you know, imagine, you know, so this tradcon dude is going to rat out some some hoe that, you know, wants to bang him, you know, is going to go and save a random bro. But, you know, if you think about it in evolutionary terms, like, you know, even think about the animal kingdom. Think of how beta fucking this tradcon shit is. Think of how fucking beta it is. I was just like, compare that to like a tiger in the fucking jungle. Like, you know, if there's a female willing to mate, you know, and it's not that you should, like, you know, just bang any female that's willing to bang you, but like, if you're dealing with her, then you obviously want to bang her, and then, oh, you find out she has a boyfriend, you're gonna not deal with her then, you know? Like, think of it, it's kind of just beta as fuck. Like I said, if it's your friend, absolutely don't try and fuck your friends chicks. It's just like, you know, that's you know, it's a red line. But if it's some random fucking dude, like, what's it to you, man? Like, who is it? Like, you know, you gotta tread carefully. Obviously, you don't want to get like fucking stabbed or anything. You know, and it, like, you know, try and have some like, you know, some common sense and understand, like, who's her boyfriend. Maybe understand, like, you know, if it's a fucking mafia boss or a drug dealer, you know, steer clear of it. But if it's some fucking dork, like, you know, some beta simp dork, like, just first of all, he's probably not going to find out anyway. So, like, just, you know, whatever, man. I'm just saying, like, you know, would a tiger, you know, oh, tiger in the jungle, you know, come across a female tiger, you know, I mean, like, oh no, this tiger has dealt with other tigers, is dealing with other tigers too, so I have to avoid her. No, he's gonna mate with her and bounce, right? Yeah, that's what you do. Like, in this situation, what you do is you go over and smash her, not on her face, and let her boyfriend come home and deal with the mess. That's what you do. Honestly, I don't, like, oh, you're a bad guy. Oh, you're a scumbag. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna do this do-gooder bullshit. This do. Oh, I'm gonna call her some random guy I don't know. What the fuck? Like, call some random guy and, like, simp for him. It's like simping for a guy. I'm a tradcon. I believe in family values. Don't cheat. Oh, fuck that shit. They're all cheat. Like, everyone's cheating. Like Andre I can't Deschesnes, or can't pronounce that. Says stay single, spin plates. That's it. I gotta agree, man. I'm not about this like dating. Like I'm not about having like relationships. Really, to be honest. Like this is a get laid channel. Like this isn't a like have how to have a wholesome relationship with a beautiful young lady. No, it's like how do I spin plates and how do I get laid? That's pretty much the premise of this channel, right? Um, none of this tradcon shit because I don't like it. It's annoying. It's do-gooder bullshit. This do-gooder. I'm a stand-up guy with morals. Fuck off with your morals, dickheads. It's not going to get you in here. Who cares? Like you're not going to be appreciated. The guy that you go and tell, he's probably going to he's just not going to you're not going to get appreciated for it, Anyway, it's just as bad to simp for some random guy as it is to simp for some random girl. I'm all about equality here. If you're gonna like, you gotta like, if you're gonna like, it's just as bad like going around simping for random guys that you don't know. Um, sure, like bros before hoes. If he's your fucking bro, he might not. If he's not your bro, who cares? If he's your bro, if he's your friend, you know, fuck this. Like, oh, bros before hoes. You don't if you don't even know the guy, like he's not your bro. He could be a dickhead. Most guys are dickheads. You know, I'm all for like I'm a dude. Like but like a lot of guys are blue pill dickheads. Like straight up. Like man, it's just it is what it is. Aaron Orr says relationships are for traditional women who are on the endangered species list. Indeed, that's it. Hard to find, man. They're, I don't really care about finding them anymore because I'm just not living that kind of lifestyle. But yeah,
antler, dejected, with low self-esteem, and probably needing some psychotherapy. But the logic was whatever qualities led to success in these same-sex battles, whether it be athleticism, strength, agility, cunning, or whatever, those qualities got passed on in greater numbers due to the sexual access that the victors accrued. Qualities associated with losing basically bit the evolutionary dust. The second component, so that's intrasexual competition, which actually the logic is more general than Darwin envisioned. So like in our species, as we were alluding to, we often compete for position and status hierarchies. And so we can engage in intrasexual competition without engaging in this physical battle or contest competition, although I think that the contest competition was also part of human evolutionary history with males. The other component process is basically what Darwin called female choice. And the logic there is that whatever qualities, if there's some consensus about the qualities that are desired, that men possessing the desired qualities have a mating advantage. They get preferentially chosen. Those lacking the desire.
Just a word on choice is interesting. Like one of the reasons that such a proponent of day game for guys to find females is because like it's initially it's us that are like when you're doing day game and when you're approaching chicks, it's you as the man that gets to choose. Of course, like it's up to her whether she reciprocates and she's receptive to your approach. But like you're the one that's choosing as the man. Like when you're using online strategies, applications and things like that, there's yeah, you're liking whatever, but it's just less choice, guys are kind of choosing whatever they can get, whatever they can get online, um and well, depending on the guy obviously, but most guys are kind of not that picky. Guys will be very fucking, a lot of guys you'll notice will be very fucking picky, when in front of their friends and in front of everyone, but in at the end of the day, at the end of the night, behind closed doors, a lot of guys are very fucking very that's just, they're not picky at all, let's just say that, like behind closed doors, like guys will be extremely like open to any kind of pussy, like, but they'll in front of friends, in front, in public, they'll be like, oh, oh my god, she's a 4, and they will they would take that behind closed doors in private, so I've seen it time and time again, but I just understand men, like, they're a lot of guys are full of shit, like, you'll notice as well, like, they'll have all these they'll have really high standards, but like I said, at the end of the day, behind closed doors, they'll bang a fucking 3, the drop of a hat, like they'll do it, like, please, you know, um, it is what it is.
Desired qualities basically become incels or involuntarily celibate. They get shunned, banished, or ignored. Now, the twist on that, and so I think sexual selection is by far a more interesting process, and definitely has occurred with respect to humans.
Another thing, just another, it's kind of, it's funny how a lot of these blue pill, a lot of the people that throw around words like, throw words like incels at other guys, a lot of them are blue pill fucking dorks that, like, they might have some fat 3 of a girlfriend, but they'll throw the insults out at guys that have game. And it's fucking hilarious. It's hilarious. I get called an incel. Oh, you're an incel. It's like, what? All right, here's 20,000 fucking videos of me banging these hoes. Like, I'm not gonna, I don't give a fuck because I don't need the validation. But I mean, I'm just so far from an incel, but they'll call me an incel. Like, it's like, I mean, I'm certainly not involuntary celibate. I mean, like, how? I mean, it's just funny, and it's the fucking nerds, it's the dorks, it's the blue pill guys that'll use it. Almost probably more. It's probably blue pill nerdy dorks that use the word incel more than chicks. I think they're more likely to know, but I think a lot of chicks. I think maybe a lot of chicks know now, but guys are more likely to understand the terminology. I think there's probably a lot of chicks that don't actually understand. They wouldn't know what incel means. Maybe they're just not aware of it. That's changing. Obviously, internet. It's getting fairly widely known, these kind of terminologies. But yeah, it's just funny, but it's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. Like, the guys that throw out the insults, it's like, it's guarantee 100% got, like, have had so much more sexual experience than all of them. But not even trying to brag about it, but it's just fucking funny, man. These fucking nerds throwing out insults when they're just like, they don't have a clue themselves, and they're with some busted up fucking fat girlfriend. Blue pill for life. Their girlfriend doesn't pisses on them, doesn't give a shit about them. Um, it's wild, man, wild times. But I love it.
Humans. But the twist there is that we have mutual mate choice, at least when it comes to long-term mating, especially when it comes to long-term mating. And that gets to the issue of Trevor's theory of parental investment, where he asked the question, well, which sex does the choosing? Which sex does the competing? And his answer was the sex that invests more in offspring tends to be choosier. Sex that invests less tends to be more competitive for access to those desirable members of the opposite sex. But in long-term mating,
It all makes it's all quite, it all makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's not a very complicated theory, or not even a theory. It's just it's obvious as to why women are choosier, because they have more at stake. There's way more at stake for them having sex than there is a man having sex. Like, obviously a woman can get pregnant, and it's like, this kind of society we live in now is just, it's just very, it's very new in terms of the time span of human evolution. Like the birth control pill, all that stuff is so new. I mean, it doesn't change the underlying psychology of, of our mating strategies. So that's why women are generally much harder to sleep with than a man. A man is like down DTF. Like guys are in general DTF unless you're a low T asexual nerd. All right, even nerds are down to fuck. Like, so compared to women, um, and that's just because women have more at stake. It's that simple. Like it really is that simple.
Now, we know from our reproductive biology that women have that 9-month pregnancy, which is obligatory. So women can't say, "Look, I'm really busy with my career. I really only want to put in 3 months." It's just part of our reproductive biology to produce one child. And men can produce that same child through one act of sex. And so, so women are, at least when it comes to sex, the choosier sex, the higher investing sex, in part because the costs of making a bad mating decision are much more severe for women than for men. Man and woman hook up, have sex for one night, in the morning they both realize, oh, this is a mistake, I shouldn't have done that. Well, if the woman gets pregnant, then she might be pregnant with a guy who is not going to invest in her offspring. A guy perhaps is someone that has poor genetic material.
That is a cold, hard red pill there. Poor genetic material. That's like the cold hard truth about it is, like, if a woman like gets pregnant by like a guy with poor genetic material, a guy that doesn't have his shit together, she's like she's almost certainly, depending on the woman, but like she's like way more likely to get an abortion, which is like a form of eugenics. And it's like this is happening in at a crazy rate. Like, you think a girl is the chances of a girl keeping the baby are much higher in relation to the kind of guy that impregnated her. So like, if the guy is high value, Chad, jacked, has a good job, good situation, is has all the good traits of a Chad, right? Then she's going to be obviously way more likely to keep the child. Like, and that's it's just that's evolution. Like, that's the way it is. Their way. It's that simple. They're going to want, um, depending on the girl's age and whatnot. You know, a 21-year-old chick, getting pregnant is obviously going to be more likely to have an abortion than a 31-year-old chick as well, because like 21, she's like, oh, I'm going to live forever, forever 21. Yeah, fucking bullshit, but by 31, oh man, it's like these chicks are like freaking out. Like, so if they get pregnant, they'll almost take anything. But like, you can be sure, like, so like, for example, if like a 21-year-old girl has, gets impregnated by some kind of middle of the road fucking, she's probably gonna get an abortion. Like, she's gonna be like, nah. But if it's like a fucking Chad, he's jacked, he's fucking, I wouldn't even say he'd need to be really rich or anything, but if he's like really, if she's really like turned on by him and he's really like sexy, and she's infatuated by him, she might even keep the child, even though the guy could be a fucking Chad loser. There's all these kind of combinations. It's not so black and white. You could be a fucking Chad and also be an absolute loser in your career and your purpose and all that. So there's all these kind of combinations. You can be a fucking, you could be. Let me just go back to this.
It does not have a robust immune system, etc. So anyway, so that's a long-winded answer to your question about sexual selection.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that you asked about the evidence for females being choosier, and they are choosier primarily in the context of casual sex or short-term sex. So that's where you find the big sex differences. And so one of the classic, and there's a ton of evidence for this. This is a sex difference that I capture in the book under the category of desire for sexual variety. So men have a much greater desire for, meaning a variety of sex partners than women do. And so the choosiness comes in on, I'll just give you one example.
There you have it, folks. From an evolutionary psychologist. There you have it. Like, it's in our fucking nature. It's in our nature as men to want to have a variety of women. It's like, it's biology. It's just like, it's like a flower trying to pollinate, you know. We're just trying to spread the seed, trying to procreate at a base level. I don't want to procreate personally. I just want to experience the practice of trying to procreate, but without the actual procreation. We live in different times right now, so and that's part of the beauty of it. But see, I want to have the fun without the responsibility, and what's wrong with that, you know? But the act of wanting to have sex with a lot of women is perfectly natural. There's nothing weird about it. It's oh, you're weirdo. Oh, you're creepy. No, it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're the fucking weirdo. I'm the healthy male with high testosterone that wants to have sex with a lot of women. You're the fucking dork that's like, I blue pill. Oh, I just want to find my princess and have a family with her. That's fine, do that, but don't criticize me for wanting to, you know, live out my, you know, my natural imperative as a man, you know. I'm trying to live out my natural imperative, enjoy life without having all the responsibilities. And you, as a blue pill fucking dork, are just jealous of that because you're a dickhead. You know, so the thing is, I really don't criticize guys that want to like have a girlfriend or have a relationship or, you know, have a family. That's fine. Like, you do you, you know, you do you, but just don't like, you know, don't be butthurt about it. Because the thing is, like, when guys are criticizing and like, oh, you're a bad, oh, you're an incel, it's like the contradictions come out. Then it's like, you know, oh, I thought I'm an incel. Like, so what's the problem? You know, I can't get women anyway, so I'm an incel. So, you know, it's like, oh, but you can't treat women like that. Oh, you should be loyal to one woman. And it's like, you shouldn't cheat with a girl that you shouldn't get with a girl that has a boyfriend. Yo, I thought I'm an incel. How can I get with a girl that has a boy? I can't get with any women, right? These fucking idiots, these dorks, they trip over themselves. They're idiots. You know, but yeah, man, it's just evolution. It's biology. As a man, you know, what's unnatural as a man, and it's straight up, like, it is unnatural to be with one woman, in my opinion. Like, it's fine if you want to do that. I'm just saying, it is like unnatural just to be with one female for your entire life. Like, you're going against your desires, like, really, you're hardcore, like, going against your desires. Like, your sexual desire for one woman can only last so long. Like, I need, like, you know, I'm way past that now. It's like, it's just even if I meet a girl that's like my exact fucking type, like, it ticks every box physically, I'm still gonna be attracted to other girls. Like, absolutely, I'm still gonna want to have sex with other girls, like, 100%. um uh Andre says, having a family is great, but finding the right woman is a gamble. Definitely is, man. That's why you got to be tuned in. You got to understand what's going on. Um, you know, and you got to understand you're going to be ready for that responsibility and all that patience. And man, in this day and age, you need so much fucking patience. And, you know, a bit of a controversial take, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I think, like, in order to maintain a relationship with a lot of women, it requires a bit of beta. Like, that's why I don't want to do it because I don't have that patience. I don't really have that compromise in me right now. It requires, I've seen it. It requires a bit of beta. Got to be said. And just most relationships aren't going to work if you're like staunch, like alpha guy. Because women are just so entitled. Like they're so, they've been fed by the media, and it'll fall apart eventually. Like in my opinion, if you're not willing to compromise, and that's I'm not willing to really compromise. I just want to live my lifestyle. Andre says we're supposed to spread our seed, though. We are. It's just that's it.
Experiment. This is a classic study done by Elaine Hatfield and Russell Clark, where they had male and female Confederates, which for listeners are members of the experimental team. It doesn't mean people from the South United States. But they had male and female Confederates simply walk up to members of the opposite sex on a college campus and say, "Hi, I've been noticing you around campus lately. I find you very attractive. Would you," and they asked them one of three questions: would you go on a date with me tonight? Would you come back to my apartment with me? Would you have sex with me? And it was a between groups design. So they simply recorded the percentage of individuals who agreed to these three different requests. And of the women, about half, about a little over 50% agreed to go out on a date with the guy. 6% agreed to go back to his apartment. 0% agreed to have sex with him. Most women need a little more information.
0%. 0% of women agreed to have sex with a random guy. So it's just like, unless wonder what,
about the guy before they're willing to have sex. Of the men approach, also about 50 by the female Confederate, about 50% agreed to go out on the date. 69% agreed to go back to her apartment, and 75% agreed to have sex with her. And so if you talk,
just listen to those, like, and it's 2022 and we're still pretending that men and women are somehow fucking equal. Like at the base level, we're so fucking different. Men and women are so different at the most fundamental base level, like sex. Like this is like the most human, like, animalistic thing going. 0% of women will have sex with a random guy. 75% of men will have sex with a random chick. That's a study. That's a study, and I don't even need to hear that study. I know it's true anyway. So that's why guys need game. They need to understand game. They need to know how to play the game. They need to understand women, and you can't be going up to women, "Oh, can you have sex with me?" like an idiot. You know what I mean? It's just but it's just it's interesting, man. Casey says, "Mac, just back from Carna, LOL." Carna in Ireland? Where's Carna? Is that? I think it sounds like somewhere in Ireland. I don't know exactly where it is, but are you talking about Ireland? I don't know. Spark 55 says Mac needs to repeat the study. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would be interesting. Yeah, but I mean, it would be fun to do that. Yeah, walking up to chicks. So it's gonna be like you go up asking random chicks to have sex with you. You're probably gonna get in trouble. But yeah, KC says County Galway. Yeah, Galway's not too far from my hometown. Casey, I don't know if you're Irish or not. I don't know. But
talk about choosiness. Are you willing to have sex with a total stranger who you've met for 30 seconds? Women unwilling to, and in general, men very willing to. And this is a study that's been replicated now in several European studies. Very difficult to do this, as you might imagine, to get this by the IRBs or ethics committees in the United States anyway.
See, you know, all this PC bullshit. You can't even do a study like that in the United States. Apparently they could get away with it in Europe, but you know, there'd be all kinds of trouble if you started doing that on a campus on the in America. Then yeah, it'd be, oh my god, it's sexual harassment, and it's like, oh my god, even though it's like it's not, like, you know, you're politely asking. It's like all the fucking hypocrisy about these, like, about these social justice warriors and womanists and all that. It's like you gotta get consent, right? But then if you ask for consent, then that's sexual harassment. So there's no winning with these idiots. And that's why you never apologize as a man. You never fucking apologize for being a man. All right. Never. The worst thing you can do is apologize. Unless you do genuinely do something really bad. And even then you should be careful, because if you apologize too much, then the blood's in the water and then they're gonna come for you even more. So you should be fucking stingy with your apologies, to say the least. But especially if you didn't do anything wrong, certainly never apologize. But yeah, just fucking funny. It's like, oh, you need to get consent and you need to do this and that, and then you go and you ask a woman politely to have sex with you, and then it's, oh, that's sexual harassment. So even though it's for a study, but uh, Aaron North says, for women, everything gets harder as they get older. Problem is, most either don't know or refuse to believe. And that's the point. Yeah, they refuse to believe. That is the thing. Harder to have sex, harder to get dates, harder to get relationship, harder to get married. I would say it's not harder to have sex. That's one thing that they can get, like, regardless of, well, obviously if they get really old, but the thing is, like, women can still, like, a woman that has smashed into the wall, let's just say she's 10, 15 years past her prime, she's like 30, 35. She can still get sex, like that. Like, she can still get sex, but it's just she'll notice that the rate of get, like, the pumpage and dumpage is way more hardcore. It's like literally, like, guys will have sex with her and, like, ghost her, like, just not call her back. But back, like, it obviously, the rate of getting pumped and dumped gets higher as she gets older. So when she's 21, when a woman was 21 at the height of her peak, the guys would, hook up with her and, like, keep calling her back. They'd like they'd message her, and they'd want to meet her again, and they'd try and get her out on dates again. But as she gets older, those callbacks get less and less. So I'd argue that as a woman gets older, it doesn't get hard for her to have sex. Really, it might get a little bit harder, but still, compared to a guy, it's like it's easy for them to have sex. Like, yeah. So
I assume it's similar in Canada.
Or worse.
Or worse. So, but yeah, the kinds of studies we really want to do are more difficult to do nowadays. But it's been replicated in several Western European countries, and you can get women off of the 0%. You can get a few percent of the women saying yes if the guy's really, really charming. If he's Brad Pitt, or I don't know what the modern equivalent is, Ryan Gosling, which is one of the or
so if he's really, really charming, so if he has mad game, right, basically, and you need like, in order to get a girl to, like, literally, in order to verbalize having sex with, like, that's the thing. Like, the thing is, you don't verbalize it. Like, asking a girl to have sex with you just after meeting her is like anti-game. It's like anti-game. That's why it's like, it's not verbalized. If you go asking women to have sex with you, that means you don't have game. That means you're like shooting yourself in the foot when you verbalize like that. That's why I always tell guys, like, you don't escalate verbally with chicks. You don't do it. You don't start, like, sexting them before you've banged them and stuff. I generally, as a rule of thumb, I always say it's as a rule of thumb, because there are exceptions to the rule, but most of the time I don't sext girls before I've already had sex with them. It's only when you've, like, had sex with them and they know that you're good in bed, and you've made them come, that they'll be willing to and enjoy, sexting with you. But if you start sexting a girl, she doesn't know what you're about. You're just another fucking dude on the internet. You just sound like another fucking normie dude, like sexting. Every guy wants to sex. It's just, they're jaded by it. They're so used to it. You got to understand these women are fucking bored by that shit. So you don't you don't do it. But like if you lay down some good pipe and bang her and make her fucking sweat, make her come and like have this crazy mind blowing sex, yeah, she'll be down to sex. Like because that'll remind her of like the how you made her feel in bed, and it'll turn her on and she'll want to meet you again. But yeah, it's like yeah, I just want to hit on that point hard, because yeah, it's like asking a girl to have sex with you, like straight up, like is anti-game. It means you're it's like you're autistic. Like you don't verbalize that shit. Like it's not done that way. Even when I'm bringing girls back to my house, I don't say, "Hey, would you like to come in and have sex with me?" What the fuck, idiot! No. I go, there's plausible deniability. It's like, yo, let's go in and chill. Like, you don't bring it up. You don't like, oh, will you sign here and can we agree that there's the possibility that we're going to make love in my apartment? And idiot, garbage, stupidity. No. But this is what all these like fucking. This is my point about how fucking annoying these progressives and womanists are. It's like, oh, you must get consent and you must verbalize your intentions to your lady and you must get her to sign the contract. But if you ask her too directly, then that may be sexual harassment and you may fucking just ignore all that shit. Ignore all these idiots telling you how to get laid, because that doesn't work. But
or perhaps a famous rock star. But that's one illustration of the answer to your question about, well, what is the evidence for female choosiness? Now, the interesting thing.
This guy gets it, to be honest. He gets it pretty well. Yeah, like fame. Like the guys that can get away with like asking a girl to have sex, like right off the bat, are like, it's not that it could never happen. There's a tiny percentage. Like you have to be like the top. Like you have to have something seriously going on with yourself in order to be able to pull that off. Like and most guys like just could never pull it off. Like I mean, like clout is insanely powerful. Women are insanely turned on by clout. I don't know what it is, and the kind of clout that most guys could never have access to, and you can't take a course on how to get that kind of clout. I'm talking about the top like 1% of guys that have like DJs that have 3 million followers, like guys that have very like serious clout. They're the kind of guys that like if they tried, they could probably walk up to a girl and ask her to have sex, and the girl would I'm not saying every girl would, but I'm saying that they could get a certain percentage of girls to agree to that, because it's just something about women. They like clout. Like they like guys that have fame and power and stuff like that. And it would be quite shocking to see what those kind of guys could get away with.
I'll give you one more. So there are studies that ask, what is the minimum percentile of intelligence that you would accept in a potential partner? So we explain percentiles to people so they understand 99th percentile, first percentile, 50th, and so forth. And basically for things like a marriage partner, men and women are roughly equal. They both are very exact. And they say what they want, like say 65th, 70th percentile in intelligence. Where the sex difference comes up is just a sex partner, a pure sex partner with no investment. Women still maintain, they still want, let's say 60th or 60 plus percentile in intelligence, whereas men drop, to embarrassing levels. That doesn't really, it becomes irrelevant. The 35th, 40th percentile men go, if she can mumble a little bit, that's fine, or even not. So that's another indication.
And that's what I was saying. Like, that's what I'm saying about about guys, and earlier about how guys Like, guy standards are legitimately very, 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 very low. Like I said, in front of their friends, and they'll have all these high standards and be like, oh, she's not a 10, I don't want to deal with her. And it's like, you fucking idiot. I know it. I get it. I know I even I know guys that are full of shit. Like, they're like, they'll have all these high standards. Oh, she's not perfect. Or she doesn't have big tits, or she has like, there's one thing wrong with her, one insignificant thing, and they'll complain about her. But like, behind closed doors, they'll fuck twos, like they'll fuck threes. Like, and it's like, it's fine, but just don't be such a. It annoys me a little bit, because when guys have their standards are like way too high, even though you know that they're like, first of all, anyway, yeah, just guys behind closed doors, and he's talking about it now. He says they drop to embarrassingly low levels, and he's talking about intelligence here. But you know you can bring that across the board. In terms of looks too, guys will punch down way, way down. Like, decent looking guys will get what they can get, as well. It's just in our nature to want to spread the seed. And that's the thing. As your game gets better, and as you get better, you understand female nature better, and as you come up as a man, then you have to settle for those fatties less and less, as you can bring up your average. You can bring it up higher and higher, um so you don't have to punch down so hard anymore. But a lot of guys do punch down. um um Andrew says they go get some fatties behind closed doors. It's a fact, man. It's a fact. And they'll be talking, they'll be we've all known those guys that are way too critical of female looks, and we know that they don't get anything near that. That pisses me off. I'm not simping for any chicks or anything, but it's just like, dude, like, shut the fuck up. Like, you don't, yeah. Just shut the fuck up. I know you're fucking fatties behind closed doors. Like, you know, I don't like it. It annoys me, because it's like, it's not being honest. It's not being genuine. It's like trying to, you're pretending to be someone who you're not. Like, it's like, dude, when you're getting with tens on the regular, then come back to me. But, you know,
of female choosiness, that is, they maintain greater choosiness when it comes to short-term sex, and are simply less comfortable with having sex with total strangers or casual sex. And I'll give you one more now that I'm rambling on, and then I'll get to some other interesting issues. This is an item on the sociosexuality inventory that colleagues Steve Gangestad and Jeff Simpson developed a long time ago. But one of the items that's an attitude item, and it says, sex without love is okay. Do you agree with that or disagree with that? And there you get a large sex difference. So in the 7-point scale, where 4 is the midpoint, men average about 5.5. So they say, yeah, sex without love, yeah, that's okay. Women are about 3.5. Okay, they're below that midpoint. It's another indication of this sex difference in choosiness.
Do you know if that's modulated by Big Five trait agreeableness?
Oh, that's a great question. I haven't seen any studies that link that.
Okay.
Big Five to that item, or the sociosexuality inventory.
and then it's again, it's pretty obvious. It's just because, love is associated, it will be associated with, being loyal and being able to, help raise offspring. So that's just part of female evolutionary psychology. If the guy loves her, then he's more likely to stick around and help her, survive while she's pregnant, and when she has the children. So it's all part, of course it's 2022, so things are different now, but the psychology doesn't change. Like, the mating strategy and the selectiveness, that's not going to change just because there's because we have access to, birth control and abortion and all that kind of stuff. And that's been evolved over hundreds of thousands of years. So that's why females operate the way they do.
Yeah, well, you'd wonder why if compassion and empathy might be one of the things driving that, and the value that's placed on that as a consequence of being high or low in agreeableness. And that would fit in to some degree with the dark triad work, that because the primary difference there is, we'll talk about the dark triad in a minute, is that the dark triad types are low in agreeableness centrally. It's not the only thing, but that's central.
Yes.
So, and that's where there's a big sex difference.
All right. So there you have it. There's just a snippet on why men, why how women select men. It's all very obvious if you think about it. It's not you can talk about it, you can talk about the science behind it, but it makes a lot of sense most of the time. It's but yeah, it's interesting how we've come around, full circle. We're living in a time where females are able to select men, more than ever. They're able to like choose, they're able to they're able to source guys that they didn't necessarily have access to in the past, because females can go on online and they can punch up. Females have always punched up. That's what hypergamy is. They've always been able to punch up because due to male nature is to spread the seed. And but I think in today's world, it's just like it's never been easier for them. And that's what's causing the imbalance and some of the tensions that are going on in the sexual marketplace between men and women, because there obviously is. Like, it's just, if there wasn't, we wouldn't have words like incel and all that kind of stuff. You wouldn't have the red pill, you wouldn't have things like that if everything was peaceful and everything was fine. It's like, no, there's something happening in the world, and it's like, all these kind of spaces are a response to that, those changes, because it is kind of it's natural in one sense and it's unnatural in another sense. It's like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird how technology in one sense it seems completely unnatural, but it's also made by humans, so it must be natural in another sense. It's kind of bizarre, but like, just the technology we use seems so removed from nature, but it really seemed like, look at it, the screens we're using, like all the technology we're using. It seems so removed from nature. It seems like alien, but it's made by humans. So, or was it? Or was it? Need the X-Files music to come in there. But yeah, guys, just to remind you about the upcoming webinar hosted by Red Pill Thor. It's going to be held on April 25th at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. PST. It's going to feature Red Pill Thor, Sterling Cooper, myself, Hoods, and Affy Kingdom. The workshop webinar will be on how to get started with threesome game, harem game, BDSM, lifestyle, escalation, erotic dirty talk, and much more. So it's kind of like, if you're looking to, advance your game, live a more exciting sex life, pretty much. It's probably a little bit for the guys that want to, a little bit more advanced guys, maybe not necessarily like beginner, you know. So definitely check out the link in the link if you want to sign up to it. It's definitely going to be good. Link is in the description. Click on it, sign up. You know, it's only a one-time thing, so check it out. Andre says technology changed everything. Indeed, it did. Technology definitely changed everything. It's weird. Technology is a strange thing. It's great and it's terrible at the same time. It's great and it's terrible. It's definitely, you know, good and bad for sure. But yeah. But yeah, guys, as usual, like, comment, subscribe, you know, check out the links in the description. If you want a consultation, level up your game, hit me up. Again, links in the description. You can book on the website. So until then, guys, have a good day. Peace out. Bye-bye.